us to keep it together. I know you think that you are too far gone, but hope is never lost. Hope is never lost. Hold on, don't let go. Hey, hold on, don't let go. Just take one step closer, put one foot in front of the other. You'll get through this. Just follow the light without it. You're gonna be okay. I know your heart is heavy from those nights, but just remember that you are a fighter. You never know just what tomorrow holds, and you're stronger than you know. You're stronger than you know. Hold on, don't let go.
Hi friends, I was just wanting to share with you, continue on with this second part of my relationship with God when I got married. And I'm sorry, actually I should have relabeled that first video with my relationship with God when Jonathan and I were friends. And anyway, I ended the video with stating that when talking about my relationship with God when Jonathan and I were just when we started dating, and how I was doing then. I had just gotten out of the hospital, like I said, and had that diagnosis with a mental illness that that I was just really hurt. I had thought about maybe possibly some things could happen to me one day, like that. I mean, I was hoping they wouldn't, but like I never thought that I would have an issue with my mind. Like it was just really a really challenging time for me. And I am so grateful that I did have a close relationship with the Lord prior to the episodes that I would have with this mental illness. I am so thankful that I had a strong relationship with God prior to it, because it was very challenging. I felt hurt by God, but you always have to remember God never hurts us. It's the enemy that hurts us. We can hurt ourselves by the choices we make, but God is never the one hurting us. There are times of suffering in life, and it does bring us closer to God through it, because we do serve a God who has suffered for us. And so it helps us to know him better. We wouldn't know God that well if everything were easy, but we know God because we go through hard things, and he's been through hard things for us, and we get to know him better through hard things. And but at the time I did feel a little hurt by God for allowing me to go through what I went through mentally. And so going into my relationship with Jonathan, as we were starting to date, I was just I guess I definitely stayed connected to God. I knew that he was my source and my hope because of my prior relationship with him. I knew that he was still the one that I run to. But with Jonathan being there, I was really falling in love with him very quickly. It was very easy to turn my attention to Jonathan instead of to God. And so it was a time of healing for me in some ways, because I had always longed for a boyfriend. I always longed for a man to love me and to show me love. And so in a lot of ways it was kind of healing, because he just, to me, was showing me God's love for me. So I did go through counseling though, and I had a godly counselor that would help encourage me in my relationship with the Lord, and how to talk things out with God, and how to pray about it. And I still went to churches. I did move. That was about the time that I moved from my parents' house and moved in with my sister. So I was in a different town, and I went to a few different churches, and was really thankful for one of the churches. They would do like a Bible study, and they had a dance team that would do a Bible study. And I just remember one night going to Bible study, and it was talking about the Song of Psalms, and it was really beautiful the way that they were teaching it. I've always wanted to get a devotional that they used for that Bible study, and haven't found it yet. But they were really bringing out the Song of Psalms in a beautiful way, and how it represented really the love of Christ for the bride, his church. And so just God showed up in different ways to me to let me know, yes, Katie, I do love you. Yes, I do care deeply about you. And for him just even giving me Jonathan in that time of my life was just another way that he was showing me how much he cared and loved me. And so going on into when we got married, I was still probably feeling in the gap of relationship with the Lord, kind of having Jonathan fill in that gap, which is not healthy, not good, never good to ever have anybody fill in the gap of your relationship with God. But when I did, like I said, we did have some arguments about different things, and finances, and I won't go into all of that, but there were fights, and we would raise our voice at each other, and it was ugly. It was like, man, this is the man that I love, and I hate that we're getting so angry at each other. And but yeah, there were still times that he would show me he loved me, and but yeah, and this is no condemnation to my love, and no, not bringing up anything that that the enemy wants to remind him of, because this is something, as part of my testimony, part of his testimony, what God has brought him out of, really. But the addictions that he was dealing with was really hurting our marriage and hurting our relationship. And but he is so free from those addictions now. And so it's so much, I've just seen the past 6 years how he loves me so much more completely. And I can look in his eyes and just tell that he's, not looking at other women or whatever. So I'm grateful that he loves me completely, and God's given him a way to get free from the addictions that he had. And if he ever, wants me to share more in detail about what all we, what our testimony really is, then I'll be glad to share that. But my point is what my relationship with God was during hard times in our marriage. And that's all I'm trying to portray, is that my relationship with God when we got married, it did get better. I did, because of our arguments, because Jonathan and I were not, I always felt like I didn't know the man that I married, and he probably didn't know who he married, really. And I had a lot of insecurities, and also I was just learning how he likes to live life. and we had two different personalities. He was more outgoing, I was more introverted, and he liked to go do things. I like to stay home. And so I had to learn how to adapt to what he likes. He was learning to adapt to the things that I liked. And it's so much better now. I mean, like I said, we've been married 24 years now, so we do better at adapting to each other's desires, and just to show each other that love that we want to give each other so badly. And yeah, he likes quality time. I do too. I like acts of service, and he's really great about helping around the house and he helps with the cooking, he helps with the shopping for groceries. Oh, and it's such a blessing that he helps in those ways. And he helps clean the kitchen, he helps do the laundry, he helps guide the boys in the way they should go, and spends time talking with them and redirecting them in life if they need some redirection. He redirects me if I need redirection, and if I'm having a bad attitude because of a hard day at work, he helps me see the light and like just be grateful that, you know, it was an answer to prayer. The job was an answer to prayer that I prayed. I prayed that I could work with babies, and God gave me that answer to prayer. So so thankful that I do have that, and it just gives me a better perspective on life. And so I'm just so grateful for Jonathan in so many ways. And it's like 10 minutes. This video has been 10 minutes, and I'm so trying to get this to be a shorter video. So let me just share the video with you now, and thank you for being here. God bless you.
That relationship the girl that he was engaged to, was just not really what he was wanting in life. He had always seen his mom and dad really love each other and also have a godly marriage, and he really desired that and knew that with this girl he wasn't really getting what he felt like God had planned for him. And so through much prayer from his sister and her church, God helped that relationship to separate, and so they didn't get married, and he ended up moving home because he wanted to get his life right with God. And actually someone had he had gotten sick, I think food poisoning, and was in the hospital. And during that time, his sister's pastor came to visit him in the church and like prophesied over him, saying that he was going to be able to share his testimony with thousands of people within the next few months. And lo and behold, maybe 6 months later, he was in Slovakia on a mission trip, and he was sharing his testimony to thousands of people. Like there's different venues that they went to throughout that part of Europe, and he was in a Christian band and sang and played guitar. So it was really neat that he was learning to play guitar prior to this event, because God was going to use that so that he could be in this band and go tour this area of Europe and share the gospel and share his testimony. I'm so thankful that God got to use him in that venue, and he got to experience serving God in a mission trip in that way. It reminded me of when I got to go to Honduras. It was like when I was 20, maybe 19. I got to go to Central America to do a mission trip and work with children there, and just it's a great opportunity. Yeah, so anyway, when Jonathan got back from Slovakia, I had been visiting my family in South Florida. Actually got to spend a month at my grandparents' home, house sitting there, and it was great to get to do that. But shortly after that summer of the mission trip, he had come back home, and I started back my preschool. But towards the end of the year, the preschool, I just really wasn't doing well mentally and was really needing to get that some attention there. And so I ended up having to go to a hospital, and it's wild, but when I got out of the hospital, it's like my eyes were just open to really see this friend, Jonathan, that God had provided for me in a new light. I was just really attracted to him all of a sudden and really wanted to be his girlfriend, and there was just a switch in me. And God had already, like I said, told him that I was to be the one for him, and he was just to prepare himself to receive me. And that day was coming really soon now, because I was really very much interested in him as a boyfriend, and it didn't take long for me to realize I was ready to marry him after we started dating, because like I said, we had already been friends for a couple of years. So we got married, or we dated for 6 months, and then we were engaged for 6 months, and we got married a year exactly from the day that we started dating. So that was in May 4th, 2002, and May 4th, 2001, and we got married May 4th, 2002. So it was really great. So excited to finally get to have that boyfriend, and that it was Jonathan. We were having fun times together. So anyways, our marriage, it was great. There was a lot. He showed me love in a lot of ways. Yet, I brought some emotional issues and mental health issues into the marriage, and I was insecure. And he actually brought some things to the marriage that, of some addictions that really was hard to make a real peaceful, harmonious marriage with some of these addictions that, a couple of addictions that he brought in to the marriage. It was really hurtful to me, and I was also hurting him. And so with my insecurities and with his addictions, and also financial issues, that didn't help anything. Coming into the marriage with debt. So we just ended up fighting, and not, just voices raised, and just disagreeing on some issues. And I was having a hard time trying to figure out how to navigate through this marriage, and really desiring to feel completely loved by Jonathan. One of his addictions really put a wedge, in our. So bringing it back to my relationship with God and our early marriage, like the first 15 years of our marriage was really up and down, really rather hard, because of the things that we brought in our marriage. So in that, I'm so thankful that I had God to cry out to, and to seek, and to know again that He was my rock in life, that He was my refuge, and He had a perfect love for me. And there's not a perfect love in any kind of human relationship, but I knew that God loved me unconditionally, and I was just so thankful for His peace that He would bring me when I would go seek Him and spend time with Him. And don't get me wrong, there were lots of times that Jonathan did show me love and did do things for me. But again, with these addictions that were brought in, and with my insecurities, it just made for a rocky marriage for a very long time. And so I'm very grateful that I knew that I could run to Jesus and cry out to God for comfort and for perseverance to keep going and to not leave the marriage. I never had a desire to leave the marriage because I really did love who Jonathan is, and I knew that he was a wonderful man and that we all have issues. And knowing that God was my rock in life helped me to stay close to him in a hard time and having that steadfast relationship. And as our marriage continued later in the years, like I guess 20 years down the road, because like I said, we've been married 24 years. Let's see, I guess it's been about 18 or 17 years down the road. I was definitely really seeking God and growing closer to the Lord. It seemed like the worse our marriage got, the closer I got to God, and was going back to my first love, which was Jesus Christ. And I would soak in God's presence. And the more that I just soaked in God's presence, the more love that God gave me for Jonathan and the man that he is. And the more I felt like God was showing me how to show Christ's love to him. I just remembered him kind of feeling distant, Jonathan kind of feeling distant from me in his eyes, or just just like I said, the addictions were bringing him down at a point. And so I felt like he was getting distant, and I felt like God was showing me so much love that I was able to overflow in the love that I was getting from God and pour it on to my husband. And I was just so grateful that God was helping me to be strong during this time, and that he did give me some other counselors during this time at the place where Jonathan was spending some time in restoration. And so it was just so good to see what God was doing in our marriage, and that he was bringing Jonathan to a place of healing, and our marriage was getting healed. And so thankful that we had the Lord through our marriage since day one, and that it's just gotten better. And now, like, I don't have to have a hard time in marriage to get close to God. Now it's like I just want to bask in God's presence. I'm at a place where I just love being with Jesus. So God bless you guys. It sounds really good plugged in. I like this one because it's a deeper sound. I love that one. It sounds beautiful, but I like the deeper